Once again, and welcome back to StarCraft 2. I'm Jackson Mackenzie,
And I'm Miro.
and we're bringing you another game from forum personality MorganFreman. This is a challenge match posted in a recent thread between Xeno and MorganFreman, ZVZ. We've heard a great deal about MorganFreman's ZVZ, and Xeno has stepped up to test his mettle, as it were. So without further ado, let's dive right into the replay. We've got Habitation Station, always an excellent map. I'm a big fan, as you may know. We've got gold versus silver.
I am too, actually.
Yeah, it's we've had some epic matches on this map. This is going to be... I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Cause,
yeah, I gotta say, across the board, we've actually had a lot of really good matches from both pro and non-pro.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's jump right in.
Here we go. Alrighty. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Habitation Station, we have our Zerg in orange, Xeno.
And spawning in the top left corner, we have the Zerg in red, MorganFreman.
Alrighty. And MorganFreman is well known for his forum posts. So and he claims to have a very good ZVZ. And I've heard from a gentleman who observed this game that it was quite a good game. So so we shall see.
Yeah, that's a promising review. So, we will indeed find out. But for now, we've got an extractor trick by MorganFreman.
Interesting choice by MorganFreman with this Overlord path here.
To go down that, yeah. I can't. I'm confused about that. Although I suppose
maybe he's trying to send him for a early checking the natural, and then leave it over to the lower right of the base.
Yes, I'd have to agree, although it confuses me why he'd do that, because you don't normally see a hatchery go down there anyway until around about now, because this is the first time you can basically afford it.
Right.
And we're actually having a hatch first by Xeno.
Hatched first by Xeno. MorganFreman's spawning pool went down at 13. So fairly standard timing there. He did take the gas before he dropped the pool.
Is that 13 or 12?
It was at 13. He had 12 workers after he dropped the spawning pool, so...
Excellent.
There is promise in you yet.
We've got the spawning pool about halfway completed now for Xeno, so that's that would have been put down around 15 supply as well. Hatcheries going up now for MorganFreman.
MorganFreman taking his natural.
A little variation in builds. One left on gas, so he's mining just enough for speed. So
there comes the speed.
We're going to see some sort of aggressive play from MorganFreman. So I look forward to seeing what these two are capable of.
Absolutely. Queens go down at about the same time. So MorganFreman a little bit slow on that first queen, but probably that was just to get that speed out even faster.
Yeah, I'd certainly say that'd be the case. The speed.
Yeah. You think we're going to see
having that upgrade lead makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're facing fastlings with slowlings, it's kind of a daunting task to beat.
You think we're going to see an early ling timing from MorganFreman?
I do, yes. As to how well it'll be held, I don't know, considering that Xeno hasn't even gotten any gas down. So
right. Well, I mean, he is dropping a spine crawler
in his natural.
Yeah. So I think with the spine crawler and the two queens, I think he's ready for this. Yeah, but we'll see. All right.
Spine crawlers aren't...
2 lings for a scouting poke by MorganFreman. Does give away the early speed there.
That speed completed just then. So
Yeah. I
let's
think
say
that,
he knows.
yeah, I kind of question that decision in terms of timing on Morgan Freeman's part because of the timing of the speed. You either want to hit with the speed at full force or not give it away. Would be my thought.
True, he is actually taking out of speed though because he's going into Roach Warren, although that is a fair few lings.
Yeah, that's a gracious plenty of lings. 18 of them for Morgan Freeman.
Wall's gone down for Xeno, so we're gonna see.
Yeah. Yeah, Xeno's prepared to
Roach Warren
hold
as
this.
well.
I don't see this push doing a whole lot for Morgan Freeman.
I can't say I do either.
Yeah. I mean, except in terms of you just take, yeah, and he sees it. He sees it's ready. So he's just gonna
well
contain
read.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was well read. I'm
Well done by both players there.
not sure. Do you think we're gonna see? Yeah, that was very good. Do you think we're gonna see upgrades, or we're gonna see speed for Xeno? Because we've now got enough.
Well, we've got a Roach Warren
characters
down
and-
for Xeno, and we do have Lair on the way.
Lair. Yep, there you go.
So I'm thinking he's gonna just go. He's going straight to roaches. He's not even bothering with lings.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Meanwhile, Morgan Freeman is actually starting his own wall. Which it's interesting because the earlier wall for Xeno means that he's going to have a pretty significant upgrade lead for a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we've got
it'll be interesting
+1
to see how
armor
that
on the way for
affects.
Xeno, and there's roaches starting to
Yeah.
come out.
And,
+1 on the way
Lair's
for
about
Morgan
halfway done
Freeman.
now Yeah, the Lair's about halfway done now for Morgan Freeman as well, so he'll be able to get his own roach upgrades fairly quickly.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna have a pretty classic
be seeing-
classic ZVZ game here. Roaches on roaches.
Yeah, we should be seeing the roach speed going down soon as well, given that Xeno's lair is just finished.
Yeah, I have to say I'm surprised to see this kind of play from Morgan Freeman. Honestly, from the last game that we saw of his, I would not have thought that he had an early game this good in him.
I'm honestly somewhat surprised as well, actually.
Right, and those roaches come
Less
out,
so-
pushing out for Xeno and driving away the Ling contain of Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, he's actually pushing across the field with these roaches as well, so... Ooh, third going down. Do you think this will get anything done? Because
The roach push.
the number of roaches in the small wall, perhaps he'll be able to pick off an upgrade, maybe?
I think probably the
I don't
best
see
best
them
he can
getting
hope for is
anything
picking off a queen at this point.
Although now with +1...
Oh, and then those lings come in from behind. Very
no,
nice.
no. This isn't going to do anything. It's pushed away
Yeah,
immediately.
very nicely held by Morgan Freeman.
I'd actually say Morgan Freeman is in the upgrade lead now because
Yeah.
that's about 20 seconds away from finishing and he's already been forced back, so
Yeah.
we'll find out. Yeah.
Yeah. A roach
Plus he also
roach
has
count
the
is
third
roach count is even, 24 to
basically.
23. Morgan Freeman does also have those lings, but at this point I don't know how much that's going to do.
Lings at this stage, I'd say, wouldn't do that.
I mean, you know, it's
much.
scouting.
They are meleeers, but they
Not
would serve
pretty
as
nice
buffer,
concave for Morgan
for
Freeman in the center of the
roaches.
map here. Reasonably
Yeah.
sized engagement.
The +1/+1 is really making a big difference.
Yeah,
for him as
reinforcements
well.
coming in for Xeno.
Reinforcements on the side.
Looks like he is going to push Morgan Freeman back.
His own +1 is completing. +2 is now started. He's throwing down his third at the gold. Xeno is. Okay.
And Xeno
The,
is Xeno's
swarm
researching
hosts.
+2 armor
We're
as well.
seeing Swarm hosts from Morgan Freeman.
Interesting
I've
choice.
heard tales of the. I've heard tales of the horrors of Swarm Host versus Swarm Host in ZVZ.
Oh god, Locust
so
against Locust.
perhaps
That
we
would be
should
terrible.
prepared Yeah, perhaps we should be prepared for an hour-long game.
Well, it looks like Xeno's looking to add. Looks like Xeno's looking to add Hydralisks to his composition, and here they come.
Yeah,
Groove Spine's on the way.
Locust upgrades. As I said, we've got +2 Carapace about halfway done now. And what do you think of taking the gold versus taking the lower third for MorganFreman?
I like that decision for the time, because at that time the initiative was quite uncontested. It was kind of a back and forth, and taking the gold at that point would have been quite risky. However, I also in
terms of Xeno, though, because Xeno's got the gold, whereas MorganFreman actually has the more standard natural.
Yeah, well, for Xeno, I actually like him taking the gold as well. I like both these players' third location for when they put it down in the situation when they put it down. Xeno put his third down when he was carrying a battle in the center field and really taking the initiative, taking the army supply lead. So he, being confident in his ability to defend that.
Yeah. Alright. I will admit to being somewhat concerned regarding the fact that gold bases have less minerals and mine out a lot faster than this more standard base, so it means that MorganFreman's going to have that mineral income a lot more.
That's true. Xeno is going to need to take a fourth more quickly, but the thing about, as a Zerg, taking the gold, it's not as much of a sacrifice as it might be for another race. Ling's running past in the center here. Nothing going on there. It's not quite as much of a sacrifice because you still got a macro hatch once it's mined out. It's not really a waste. Like it might be for a Protoss player. The Swarm host starting to engage the roaches. Bit of a misclick there by MorganFreman. But he does still seem to be winning this engagement. And pretty handily at that. Yep. Xeno driven back.
The addition of the Swarm host really made quite a big difference.
Oh yeah,
there. It's not that many Swarm hosts, but
yeah, I mean, he's getting really good synergy from his units.
11 Swarm hosts. Okay, so it's not that it's not a small amount, but
yeah,
the DPS provided by those locusts was not insignificant.
No, definitely, yeah,
especially given the lack of roaches that he had.
And the timing on those Swarm hosts was perfect. Most of those Swarm hosts popped out and burrowed during that engagement. So
we do have a upgrade deficit for MorganFreman, where Xeno is 2-2. We've actually got MorganFreman still on 1-1 for at least another 2 minutes or so. A little bit less, but around that. But now we've actually got Swarm host coming out for Xeno 2.
Oh dear.
So, yeah, it's looking like we're gonna find some some of our own Swarm host versus Swarm host. Do you think we're gonna see another Stefano Ram? Ooh, that's a nice flank by Xeno, catching those units a little bit off guard, but it was
with what we've seen from MorganFreman and from Xeno so far, I kind of doubt it. Because MorganFreman went Swarm host much earlier, and it doesn't look like Xeno's really committing to the Swarm hosts. I actually don't think Swarm host is a very good idea.
More on the way, so
yeah, I don't think it's really a terribly good idea for Xeno, unless he can kill off the Swarm hosts with these Roach Hydra army, which it might.
Which he's actually on top of them now.
Yeah,
so, and he's got no anti-air for the detectors that Xeno has, which means he can actually.
Xeno's army is just melting here. Both players taking huge army losses.
5 in terms of Swarm hosts.
Yeah, Xeno now down by 50 supply. We've got a very nice sort of battle of maneuver in the center field here. This is...
Yeah, I do like I actually prefer the positioning for Xeno more than I like it for Morgan Freeman,
Really?
because where he's based is actually right outside both his third and his natural, so it just means all he
Yeah,
has to do
yeah,
is
easy to
rally as
defend there.
opposed to repositioning his
Right,
units.
yeah. Oh, Morgan Freeman leaving those swarm
Picking off
hosts out to
more,
dry.
yeah, picking off a
That,
lot more.
yeah, that hurt. Transfusing and
Oh,
healing up
oh,
that
from
injured one.
behind, picking the.
Oh,
This is actually
nice,
going to be
nice
really
flank.
close.
And nice counter
Tracked
flank.
on both sides though. Yeah, this is uh, this is going to be really close. I
Oh,
feel. I don't know.
this is
I
great.
think though that Morgan Freeman is actually going to lose this particular battle ultimately.
I
He's picking
think
off all the swarm
I'm
hosts
I'm
now.
inclined to agree. Yeah, swarm hosts are going down. More swarm hosts coming out for Xeno.
Oh, oh, oh. That said, those two queens from Morgan Freeman just killed off the swarm hosts killed off a lot more than they should have with the
Yeah,
transfuse
with the transfuses, very
from the
nice.
queens. That was very well played.
All right, well, the Morgan Freeman continuing to push out with even more swarm hosts. I don't think this is a very good idea at this point. I think he needs to rally back, regroup, and maybe rethink his composition. I mean, he's continuing to make more swarm hosts. I like this very offensive use of swarm hosts by Morgan Freeman, but I think he's being too aggressive.
I'm inclined to agree. What I'd actually like to see is a fourth base from either player and a macro hatch, ideally,
Yeah.
as well.
I would actually
More
really
so
like to see...
for Xeno than Morgan Freeman, though.
Yeah.
Because there's the fourth going down.
Yeah.
Because that mineral income from the gold is going to start running out
Yeah,
very soon.
quite soon.
I mean, it's only a few thousand minerals
Yeah,
left.
I mean, I think they both need a fourth at this point. In fact, I think they needed a fourth quite some time ago, but the combat has just been so intense, they have not had the spare minerals. Nor, frankly, the spare
True,
attention.
The ZVZ, though, is, as we've stated, but flanked by Hydras. The ZVZ, though, as we've stated,
But those
by,
Hydras are going to melt to those locusts,
earlier,
though.
is a bit different. The timings are a lot different for the
Yeah, it's true.
for when the bases should be taking in comparison to something like ZVT or
And oh god,
CVP,
locust on
where you
locust,
typically
no!
want a much faster fourth base.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman sort of bunkering down with these swarm hosts. Spire on the way for Morgan Freeman. Excellent. I was hoping we'd see this.
I like that. I'm
Yeah.
wondering whether we're going to see Brood Lords or if we're going to see Mutas. Because if we see
Yeah.
Mutas, then it's not really going to do much in terms of mineraling, in terms of like worker damage or
Right.
picking off tech. 'Cause
What I'm
the
hoping that Morgan
tech is
Freeman
pretty well
sees,
guarded.
that I see, is that if he can use his locusts to take out Xeno's Hydras, and then come in with the Mutas, that could be absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, that could be done real. Whoa, 56 lings on the way as well. This
Oh,
is an
wow.
interesting transition. I'm not sure what to make of it.
I mean,
Does he have banelings?
you know what I think
No,
he's
he doesn't
doing?
have
Yeah,
banelings.
he's
Okay.
hunkering down with these swarm hosts to defend the the mutiling switch. I like
I
it.
like that, and we're actually going to see a counterattack from this massive.
Yeah,
swarm of lings that we've
huge
got.
Ling run by going
Into
at the gold.
ooh, yeah, massive ling run by this base
Yeah.
is forfeit,
Yeah, this base is done.
and also into the
Queen
natural.
goes down,
That's
Spinecrawler goes
very well
down.
played.
Very nicely done by Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. The third natural are almost certainly gone now. I can't see him saving. I take that back. He's saved both bases.
Wow. Very impressive. He saved both bases while continuing the pressure at the third of Morgan Freeman with those swarm hosts.
Yeah, that is very well done. Leaving the swarm hosts there kind of does concern me a little bit, but given the fact that there's not really anything to attack them there,
Morgan
I
Freeman
do-
still continuing to build swarm hosts. He now has 14 with actually, how many does he have? He has 21 now. 21 swarm hosts. You know, this has been a Swarmhost versus Swarmhost game, and if you'd told me this was going to be a Swarmhost versus Swarmhost game, I would have gone, oh no, that's going to be rubbish. But this has been great.
Yeah, it's actually been a surprisingly good match. Something I would like to see that Xeno's not really been on top of, but has been better at than MorganFreman. And this is something we found through our last cast of MorganFreman as well. Is his creep spread is sadly lacking, whereas Xeno has
it is.
a much wider area of view, so he can counterattack a little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, yes, you're also adding speed to your opponent. To your opponent's units, but I feel that like the vision benefit that you have kind of outweighs that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're adding speed to your units and your opponent's units. At that point, it's kind of a wash, but you do get the vision, which is very important.
Yeah. Very true. I would actually like to see a fifth go down for Xeno, especially because he's now mined out.
Yeah, I mean, MorganFreman
base.
needs to take a fourth pretty soon. Okay, Corruptor's on the way for
really
MorganFreman. This is going to be Broodlords.
Morgan's actually mining off one base. In fact,
okay, he takes the gold. Hatchery goes down at the gold for MorganFreman. This Swarmhost battle in the center map here is not really mattering. Everything's kind of happening around it.
It's actually kind of almost dead supply, although I like this. He's actually repositioned some of the swarm hosts to go up to what I can only assume is going to be one of the bases.
Well, I mean, yeah,
and another Ling run by going through.
Okay. See how much damage you can get done with this.
Noticed. Yeah, I'd like
because he doesn't really have that
Overlord or something placed there.
Yeah.
But with the Corruptors coming out,
Speedling's going into the main. He sees the Vipers.
Oh, look.
Is he going to get the hive?
There as well. How many Vipers is that?
Oh, way too many. That's
7 Vipers.
Seven Vipers, yeah.
That's too many Vipers.
But I think he's going to get this hive. Okay, he stopped hitting the hive.
I don't think so. He's actually going back with his units again.
Well, he's going to take out this this Spire again.
Keep in mind that a hive does have 1,000 hit points.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Sorry, 2,500 hit points. Jeez, English isn't my forte today, is it?
Apparently not.
But he is going to potentially take out a lot of tech.
Yeah.
And especially because those Hydras are sitting there doing nothing.
The spawning pool's about to go down.
Away from the damage, so he's going to lose that.
He's going to lose that spawning pool.
That spawning pool. Yeah, it's done. That surprises me.
Yeah, so the Spire is gone. Spawning pool is gone. The infestation pit is going to go down, I think.
No, the Spire is down. The Spire is still up. It's actually still going up. Yeah, it's down in the fourth.
Okay, he must have put up another one then.
Xeno really does need a 5th base now if he wants to continue to match the production that MorganFreman now has with the gold
Those
base.
Speedling run-bys were a really nice stroke.
Yeah, they are being really effective. And you're not gold. Yeah, no, I will agree with that. I kind of...
Oh, he's platinum on EU, okay.
In terms of where MorganFreman is, I'd actually say...
He says he's gold on Korea. Okay. Cheese to gold there.
Cheese to gold. I'd actually say that MorganFreman's ZVZ is certainly a lot better than his ZVT.
Yeah,
I will give you that.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I'm very impressed. I didn't think that he was going to be playing this well. From the fact that he's silver and from how we saw him play last game, I think he's a much better player than I think we gave him credit for.
Yeah, given I wasn't expecting this to be a walkover by any means, but I was kind of expecting Xeno to be...
I thought Xeno would have won by now.
Pretty handily.
Like, maybe, 15 minutes ago, even. But this is just This is a long, drawn-out war of maneuver and macro.
Yeah, it is. Up there's the first Broodlord along
Yep.
along the
And
way for
but here come the
MorganFreman.
mutas. Here come the mutas for Xeno.
We currently have. Whoa. Okay.
Okay, those broodlords going after the swarm
don't need
hosts
to be
now.
attacking, but they need to be killing off that overseer and then going for the Broodlords.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually
Those
yep,
swarm hosts
there
just
we go.
dropping like
And now they're
flies.
starting to go for mutas. That's gonna. I actually think that could well be the game changer.
Mm-hmm.
But
MorganFreman's
I think in
okay.
terms of
Okay, Xeno with those mutas taking out the
losing those
broodlords.
broodlords is painful. They
Yeah.
are fairly expensive and reasonably high supply. But I think losing the swarm host for Xeno is actually going to be more problematic.
It could be. Xeno does now have air superiority.
I wonder, with the blind, do you think with the blinding clouds that the mutalisks would be able to do any damage to the swarm hosts? Because blinding cloud does, from memory, affect static defense. Like, there
I
you go.
don't know. Yeah, I
we
think.
go.
Yeah, no, I think.
In the gold base, this space is
Yeah.
actually.
I think Xeno is pushing ahead here. Losing those broodlords was just too much, and MorganFreman just does not have the anti-air. You know, we've got 11 hydras coming down, but
He's
this
actually
may
got
be too
more
little, too
Broodlords
late.
coming in, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure why he's bringing more broodlords in. Like he doesn't. He really doesn't need that, and Xeno doesn't actually have any static defense
Right.
there with him. That said,
Gold base
Xeno
goes down.
has- So yeah,
MorganFreman
basically
needs.
has no anti-air short of the corruptors.
I mean, well, he has 11 hydras on the field now, but they're not speedy. They're not terribly well upgraded, and they are made of paper.
Actually, the MorganFreman's hydras are 3/3.
Oh, are they? Okay.
So they will do.
Oh yeah,
fair bit of
you're right.
damage.
Yeah, I sorry, I was just noticing that they were slow hydras.
Oh yeah.
You know, Xeno
This-
with that mutaflock continuing to just pick away at those broodlords.
Yeah, I think ultimately, assuming that he can manage to kill off those swarm hosts with the mutas.
Yeah, I mean he's
could
reaching
well,
critical mass of mutas at this point. He's got 25.
He is. He doesn't have an overseer with him though, so he can't actually see them.
Right.
And this
I'm
base.
I'm frankly
is
I'm really
forfeit with the swarm host
yeah.
there.
God
He's
damn.
actually positioned outside of the natural as well, so
Yeah.
he's
this
gonna,
is-
he could well lose the main, the third, and the natural, and the fourth that he's just lost.
Yeah. Wow. God, back and forth it goes.
Yeah, very much so.
MorganFreman taking a fifth.
MorganFreman's actually retreating, so he hasn't lost. All things considered, he hasn't lost too much.
I think no, I think he has lost a
but-
huge amount, but the thing is, so has Xeno. These
No,
players are just
I was referring to Xeno.
Oh, okay,
I mean,
yeah.
in terms of that engagement,
Yeah.
he didn't actually lose as much as I thought he would if
Right.
MorganFreman had stayed for another spawn of the locusts.
right. Yeah,
He would probably have lost a lot more.
yeah, and Xeno coming in with this mutaflock now. Given okay, God, we have so many spore crawlers
Oh my goodness, so many spore crawlers that physically can't be burrowed because there are no.
because the creep isn't ready yet.
Yeah.
That is
he's actually
painful.
thrown by all
Oh,
these spore crawlers,
wow.
And they need to get down. They're not going to get down.
Yeah,
in time
no, this isn't
before.
gonna. This is. Oh wow, that hurts. Well, he's still got 4 of them
Yeah,
there, and you know, spore crawlers en masse do terrible, terrible things to mutas.
Yeah, they certainly do, but not when they're blinded.
Yeah, not when they're blinded.
I like that addition though. I like the addition of the Vipers. That was something I was
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
expecting.
Vipers with
at all.
mutas to Blinding Cloud Static D. That's a very interesting composition that I don't believe I've ever seen
It's
before, and I
something
quite like it.
haven't seen. Yeah, it's something that I haven't seen in against. In fact, against in any other ZVZ.
Yeah. Okay.
To be
That
honest.
was the last shot I think in Morgan Freeman's quiver. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And a little bit of BM there. Huh. Well, that was a hell of a game.
So it was actually, yeah, it was actually still a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Again, I would appreciate it if Morgan Freeman was just a little bit more, you know,
Yeah. You know,
willing
losses.
to accept
Yeah.
that he made mistakes and
Yeah.
yada yada yada, as we said in our last cast of his
Yeah.
games. But even so, that was still a hell of
Yeah.
a game.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd
he's
actually
said.
say this
Sorry?
is,
Sorry,
in
you were
terms
saying.
of ZVZ, this is certainly a gold league, high level gold league, low level platinum game.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm far more impressed with Morgan Freeman's play in ZVZ than I am in
But no,
ZVT.
it wasn't, yeah.
And I'm really
I
wondering.
Agreed.
I'm wondering, again, coming back to the psychological thing. I'm wondering how much of that is just that Terrans make him nervous.
Possible, yeah.
Just it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing. If you think you're going to lose against Terran, you're going to play more, you're going to play less well.
You're gonna play bad,
exactly.
worse, and then you're gonna end up losing anyway
Yeah.
because
Just because you get flustered.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
but even so, great game. Very well played by both players. Would have been nice to see a little less BM at the end, but these things do happen.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him at least graciously GG out. I mean, it's not like Morgan Freeman's playing a Terran who is he's absolutely known to hate. I mean, he's
Right,
playing
yeah.
a fellow zone player, so
Yeah,
at least admit when you're beaten.
yeah, yeah, definitely. All right, well, I think that about wraps this up. It was quite a long game, and I don't want to keep the download all that long for you guys. So once again, I'm Jackson McKenzie,
And I am Miro.
and this is StarCraft 2.